Hi,
All right, what's happening?
how are you?
Good, yeah, just chilling, just back to my bike ride.
Oh, you to go for a nice long one?
Yeah, well, I went for one this morning with the boys, and then no boys come on, so they asked me to go on it again. So I done 16 mile this morning, and I just done 12 mile again there. So I'm tired now.
Brilliant. So what's your kind of day like? What are you sort of your training schedule? What's it like?
I just really, if I don't do no bike, well, I just bought a bike the other day ago because my trainer told me to change it up instead of keep doing runs. So my legs and that, he said, just change it up. So I'd usually do a run in the morning, I'll come back and I'll do shadow boxing and a circuit. And then I've got a bag down the bottom and I'll do bag work down the bottom. So it just depends how I feel when I wake up because I've been feeling tired lately. So I think it's all the training I've been doing having a rest because there's nothing to do. I'm that bored. It's just training. That's all that's in my head really.
And what about your diet? Do you reckon the tiredness is down to bad diet? Are you sticking to,
I'm not
are you
sticking
a
to it.
heavyweight now? Like
I'm
what?
probably I'm probably about a heavyweight just now. I'm heavy just now, I am. So I'm not keeping no diet just shit, but it's hard to do. But I might be fighting sooner than everyone thinks behind closed doors. So I've just been told really just to keep ready.
Very
So
good. Well, that's really
when the call
exciting.
comes, yeah. So just have to keep myself training, keep myself taking over till till I get the call. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Was that when you did get the call to say there's a possibility that you may have to fight behind closed doors? Like, what was the response from you? Was it like, shit, it's unfortunate that all this is happening, there'll be no audience? Or is it like, I don't care, get me the fight?
Yeah, just the main thing when my coach texts me saying he spoke to such and such that might be put behind closed doors in a few weeks. I just got told basically, and I said I'd fight anyway. I'd fight in a phone box really. So it's just most of our fighters we're not really bothered, especially this hard time as well. Just to get back boxing and back training and back fighting. That's the main thing. Obviously, I was supposed to be fighting a few weeks ago in Wales, and then obviously this happened and I couldn't fight. So I'm just excited now. I'm getting to fight again.
Does it make it better or a little bit less bittersweet that everyone else is in the same position, that all other fighters are like, it's one thing I suppose if you're injured or if you can't get matched and you see your peers being able to fight, but I suppose it's a little bit of a comfort knowing that everyone's in
Yeah,
the same boat.
it's a weird. It'll be weird at the time when you walk in a venue, it's empty and it's I've been told it's live on Sky Sports, but it's behind closed doors, obviously, and I'm just excited that I'm getting to fight. Do you know what I mean? I'm just we're just waiting on full word what's actually going on. Is it yes or no what's going on? But I've just been told just to keep taking over and not let my eye off the ball, and I could be fighting in a few weeks' time.
Like how exciting is it to be you right now? I mean, like, let's look at your amateur career in terms of like what you achieved. Already undefeated pro, and only, are you still 22?
Yeah, still 22. Yeah.
Like, it's unheard of almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so there's so many accomplishments for someone that is still so young.
Yeah, well, I was on I was Team GB and I could have stayed to. I was in a good position after the Commonwealth Games. I was in a good spot. I was basically number one in GB. Well, I was number one in GB after I beat Ben Whitaker, and I could have stayed on and went to the Olympics. But then again, this has just happened. So I'm actually glad I never stayed on because now they're saying it's going to be next year now to the Olympics. So I'm glad I turned pro at the right time, and obviously I got a good offer and a good team around me. I mean, so.
Was there a lot of people that said to you when you decided to go pro, like, this is a bad decision, stay amateur, you've got a lot more that you can achieve?
Yeah, my amateur coach is really just it was a hard decision really. It wasn't no just a one day thing. It was I fought for it about 2 weeks, just thinking about it for 2 or 3 weeks, thinking every way possible what could happen and what's going to happen. And obviously I had to move from Scotland down to London, so that was a
Mm.
big with my family. Do you know what I mean? So I had to leave my family up there and come down here. So it was a big thing doing that there. Do you know what I mean? So I had to have a big long think about it. But I think now I've made the right choice, and hopefully I can get another few fights by the end of the year, and now I can maybe go for a British title sooner than later.
Mm.
So
What was it when we look back at your amateur career and, you know, the early days of when you started boxing? Who was the person who pulled you aside and says, you've really got a special talent here, you can go anywhere that you want in the sport?
just, you know what? I believed in everything I'd done. Like as a little boy, I believed in. I always believed I was unstoppable. And my first few fights I had, I had about 15 and I stopped about 12 of them. And I won my first 15 and I got beaten in my Scottish final, my national final. And it was just like my world come to an end. And then I come back and I started winning again and I got the offer and then my dad said, listen, you don't have to work or nothing. I'll fund you basically. Why I wasn't getting funded at the time, why you could just train full stop. So I had that my dad helped me along a lot. Do you know what I mean? With my amateur pedigree, and then obviously I got in Team GB, and then I just knew if I put my full head to it, I can get far in the sport. Do you know what I mean? And I did. I started winning tournaments, Europeans. I got a silver there. I won the youth gold, and then I went to obviously I won the Commonwealth bronze, and I won a lot of things. I had 130 amateur fights, and I lost I'd say about 16 or 17. Do you know what I mean? So had a good record, a good pedigree, but obviously you've obviously got to make the timing right to when to turn pro and stay amateur. Do you know what I mean? There's some people that stay too long amateur, and then when they're pro, they're not. Do you know what I mean? They're not that good. Do you know what I mean? But obviously I've never been tested yet. I don't know how good I'm going to be and as a pro. I've never been tested yet, but till that day when I do get the test, and you all see what I'm actually about. Do you know what I mean? I know how I'm boxing in the gym and how I'm performing in the gym with my coach and what he's saying to me. Do you know what I mean? Listen to him, 20 cents. So just now I'm performing, but it's just doing it in the ring and getting somebody in front of me, which everyone thinks going to be a 50 fight and be a good fight. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just looking forward to getting back fighting now.
What do you think it was that was in you from even that young age, like feeling unstoppable, unbeatable, and to go on to have that many amateur fights, never mind professional?
It was just, I don't know. It's just that
where did the confidence come from? Was it your dad? Was it your family? Did they tell you that you could achieve anything? Where did it come from?
It was probably my big brother, and big brother done boxing, and I used to spar him all the time. And he used to give me a hiding. Basically, what Lee McGregor was saying to you on this here as well, the exact same story with Lee McGregor. Basically, my brother always used to give me a hard, and then I said to myself, one day I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to beat you. And I just kept training, and just I eventually started getting good spars, and when he beat me this day, and then I just thought when I beat him, I thought I was unstoppable. I thought no one could beat me. And then obviously I had amateur fights, and I was that scared. My first amateur fight, I was crying. I didn't want to fight my dad. I was saying to my dad, I don't want to fight. I don't want to go in the ring. And he made me go, and I stopped the boy in the first round. And then from that day onwards, I've just thought I was unstoppable. Even when I got beat, I thought that was a fluke there. They've had that a fluke. Do you know what I mean? I've had that in my head since the day go. So.
Well, did you ever get your revenge on your brother?
Yes, I've had it plenty of times now. He used to be a lot bigger than me, and now I'm 10 times bigger than him. And I got my revenge back when I was about 15-year-old, and now he's stopped boxing now, so he'd never spar me now. I would love to spar me just for 2 minutes to see what would happen to him, but he knows better.
So the beef is settled.
The beef is definitely settled. He's quite scary, you know.
When you turn pro, I mean, you've had, obviously, you're still a new pro in terms of, what's left to achieve and different things. But, from what you've experienced in the sport, the professional side of the sport to date, has it been as you had expected it to be?
Yeah. Not in a way, yeah, in a way not. When I had my first pro fight, it was so I was scared. I was thinking, I had to put the small gloves on. I was punching myself in the head when I was thinking, I know I'm fighting a journeyman here, but oh my God, like, if he hits me, what's going to happen? Like, I was thinking a lot of weird stuff. Like, every boxer thinks I'm out the box, and I was that night. And since my first fight, I just that was it. I was like, I felt seasoned in the pro game. But yeah, it was a lot nervous because obviously I've got Eddie Hearn watching me. I was on Sky. And if I do a slip-up job, I was thinking, oh my God, if I do a bad job here and I fight, I'm supposed to win. If I perform bad, what are they going to think of me? Do you know what I mean? I put myself under a lot of pressure. But obviously, it went good against me. Do you know what I mean? I performed in every fight so far. Eddie Hearn's happy with me, and now I'm just waiting on the step up. My last 3 fights, I've been wanting to step up. Same with my coach. We've offered a few boys a few fights. I'm beating boys 8-0s, 9-0s. I was supposed to fight 2 Irish boys as well. One of them was McDonough. But
I know.
That fell through, I think. I don't actually know what happened to him. I don't know why it fell through. And then I was supposed to fight. I don't know what I was supposed to fight. He got offered the fight. He's an Irish boy. He's about 8-0. He fought Lewis Panfuji's last fight in Ireland. Paddy Callan. Oh, I forgot his name. He's my weight. He's from Ireland. I forgot his name. He's actually not a bad fight, isn't it? He fought Lewis Panvidge. He fought his last fight in Ireland. It was. He's at super middle. He's my weight. I forgot his name is. We offered him the fight as well, but I don't know what happened with him. That was when the McDonough fella pulled out. We went through like 12 opponents that camp. My last 2 camps have been nightmare because really, I've had that many pullouts. I've had about 8 pullouts before my fights even went ahead. And then
Why do you think that is? Are they all scared? Are they all frightened to go in with you?
I hope so, but you never know, do you? My last two fights has been a nightmare to get fights. To be fair, I've been getting. We offered a few good boys, like unbeaten boys, fights, and just turning it down and then I'm thinking. Then when I fought in Newcastle against Lewis Panvidge, before that I was supposed to be fighting an English boy, quite a good boy, was amateur, very good amateur, and he pulled out on the after, like he got weighed in, he pulled out that day. Oh, and I was thinking, I'm not boxing now. Then they got Lewis Panvidge, like, and they just, thank God he come in and on the Newcastle fight and come in and give me the rounds. Do you know what I mean? So it was a bit of a headache going through all that. And then my last 3 camps has been a nightmare for opponents. I just can't wait till I get like a 50-50 fight when people think it's going to be a hard fight, and then I knock them out, and then they can all like. Just now I'm knocking out like men I'm supposed to be beating. Do you know what I mean? And when I do get them 50-50 fights, you'll all see what I've actually been training with 27. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. So, is it a little bit, do you have to kind of practice the art of patience a little bit?
Yeah,
you strike me as someone you strike me as someone who just really wants to be tested, progress the career, fight as many times per year as possible, and just chase the titles.
Yeah, my patience has been tested a lot for a few times in the pro game now. Like, but yeah, obviously when I've got a gym where everyone's winning titles and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got no title yet. What's going on? Like, I'm just saying to you now, I just want to get in there and fight somebody for a title and just I know the thing is I know I'm capable of winning a British title just now. I know for a fact. It's just getting them in with me and then me proving what I'm about. Do you know what I mean? It's just getting them in the ring with me. Just getting a title on their line and then I'll show you what I'm all about. Do you know what I mean? It's alright talking over camera and saying I'm going to do this and do that. I'm that confident. I'll fight for a British title next fight. That's how confident I am with my ability.
Well, listen, if I was Eddie Hearn, I'd give you the contact straight away.
I've been on Eddie Hearn's case. Do you know what I mean? I've been in the movie thinking, I'm just wanting the big fights now. No more. I don't want no more journeyman. Well, I've been told there's no more journeyman. I've got an 8-rounder next. I was supposed to be fighting the boy who had a draw with Craig Richardson there, who's supposed to be fighting for the British title. Light heavyweight. I was supposed to be fighting that Chad Sunderland.
Yeah.
But obviously he got the call up for that there, so you put that aside. But obviously he would have took it. I know he would have because he is a game lad. But once I get somebody what everyone thinks good and will give me a hard fight, and then I show them when I knock them out or beat them badly, do you know what I mean? Then I'll be happy.
Well, look at the fights that you've had to date. I mean, most of them are first round stoppages.
Yeah.
Is there ever a kind of? I mean, obviously you want to get the win, and you definitely want to get the stoppage in terms, especially when you're looking at being on Sky Sports and different things like that. It's what the fans want to see. But do you kind of sit back then and go, Jesus, I wish I got a little bit more ring time and got to like settle into the rounds a little bit more?
Yeah, 100%. Listen, that's why I was told my last two fights. I've basically been told you've got to do the distance. My last fight before that, I stopped my last boy. But the 2 fights before that against Lewis Panvidge, I know he's tough anyway. They said my coach told me before we're going to put you up to like any long rounds, John, you have to do the rounds in. So I did. So I got a 6-rounder and a 4-rounder. Do you know what I mean? So when I done the 4 round, they told me I had to do the 4 rounds. Like I fought that Darryl Sharp, and they said I got told to do the rounds. Done the rounds with him, then he put me up to a 6-rounder. And then I had to do the rounds again. I've done a 6-rounder, but I know I'm capable of doing 12 rounds. I know in a fight and sparring is different, but we spar a lot of rounds in our gym. We spar like 15 rounds and we're fit. Do you know what I mean? And then when we do 12 rounds, we do 4 minutes, 12 rounds. Do you know what I mean? It says Tony pushes us all the time. Do you know what I mean? Tony doesn't slack off us one bit. Do you know what I mean? So we know when the going gets tough, we know we're fit enough. I know just now I'm knocking everyone out, and I've proved that. But get somebody in there that's going to last the distance and somebody's good enough.
Absolutely. Let's talk about I suppose the the sort of media side of being a professional fighter, especially being this early on in your career and getting the opportunity to be on Sky Sports and, like you say, being around people that are essentially running the game, like Eddie Hearn and, you know, Matchroom, one of the biggest boxing promoters that are out there. How did you adapt to that? You know, like, did you find it a little bit intimidating or a little bit like, guys, you know, because I imagine for a lot of fighters, they grow up watching the Hearns family, they grow up watching for the Frank Warrens, you know what I mean? And then they suddenly get a big opportunity. And, you know, I imagine that there might be a lot of pressure on a fighter to perform and to make sure that they make their mark so that they get a little bit of, you know, a better opportunity in the sport.
You know what? What's weird about it is I turned pro, right, with Eddie Hearn. Obviously, I met him in the office, and it didn't really hit me. Two, when I was in my first press conference, I was just sitting there. I was in Newcastle. I looked around me. I was with all the fighters, like sitting at the table, and thinking, "Oh my god!" Like I got so nervous. I didn't know what to say. Like everything just went out my head. Like when I was asking you questions, I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking. It just all hit me there. That's when it hit me. This at that press conference, that first press conference. Now I'm fine with the press conference. Now I've took it all on board, all the way to everything. But then again, what you just said there, when I'm getting the camera and when I first did it, I just was nervous. Like it was just like I never got hit when I was at Newcastle that day, and I just remember it. I was that nervous. I was thinking, what am I going to say here? The boys like all like relaxed next to me, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what am I going to say here? Like I'm sitting back, like Eddie Hearn's right behind me, and I'm thinking, he asked me the question, I can remember, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what am I going to say? And once that there was passed with, and then I fought that later on, like that next night, and I was thinking, oh my god, after that, like even not even the fight was when I knocked him down. Obviously, I knocked him down quick, and I come down to speak to him at the ring inside the ring. I was thinking, what am I going to say here? Like obviously you've got nerves, like, and I just didn't know what to say. I was so like.
Do you know what? When you watch a fight on TV, especially a matchroom fight, and when Eddie goes and like says something to the fighter, I'm always like, I wish he was mic'd up. I want to know what he's saying.
Oh,
so he does it all the time, you know.
Oh, when I got that first one, I am telling you, I was just, I've never been so nervous. Just because it was Eddie Hearn, obviously, I've watched his shows on telly, like, and now I'm doing it. I'm actually here. I'm doing this. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And then the other feeling is when I actually win a title. Like I used to watch like when I'm home with my dad when I used to be amateur. I used to sit there and just like think, imagine me in that telly one day, win the British title, win this. When that actually does happen, when I win a British title, I'm gonna be sitting inside the ring with the British title, thinking, you know what? I was actually watching myself, and now I'm actually doing this. Like I just can't wait for that feeling. I know I've dreamt of it so many times. Winning a world title, just sitting beside Eddie, it's going over my head and over my head. When I go running, I think about it. I just think about it. Like my first title I can get is whatever title I want, or who wants to put in against line against me. I just think about it, thinking I've won this title now, and I'm sitting next to the ring, and I'm thinking I'm sitting next to Eddie Hearn. I used to watch him doing this. I mean, I used to watch. Oh, it'll be very good.
So who other than Eddie Hearn, who have you met that you've gone, I can't believe I just met that person?
His dad. It was when I was 10
Yeah.
fought for the European title. Like I was just sitting there. It was when I come back. You know, he said to me, "Good luck." When I was walking out to go into the ring, I said that I just thought it was weird. I was thinking I'm not good enough to him say to me, "Well, like." I was thinking, oh my god. So now I won, and I come back to change room. He was coming to me, talking to me like I was just normal. Like obviously, I'm he's one of these fighters, but it was just weird. I was thinking, oh my god, he's talking to me. I was going, oh my god, in my head, he's talking to me. Like, he's actually talking. I mean, and he's an older man. I mean, and I was thinking, oh my god, that is just. And after he talked to me, I sat down. I was thinking, has that just happened? That's what I was actually thinking. That was one of them there. I was just thinking, has that just happened there? I come back and he went, well done. That was a very good performance there. I'll be keeping an eye out on you. And since that day, obviously, it was my third pro fight. Since that day, I've just thought, I can't do a bad performance. I can't do a bad performance. And then again, I watch all the boys do bad performances, and then Eddie Hearn just like, obviously, keeps away from them a while. Like he just puts them aside. Basically, obviously, that he's a businessman, isn't he? If you're not winning. If you're not winning, he doesn't like. If you're winning and knocking people out, especially if you're knocking people out, he loves you. Like I've seen me knock boys out and he loves me. Like oh my god, like he just. Do you know what I mean? Then again, I look at other boys with different bad performances, and I say, I don't try and put myself in their shoes, but I was thinking, imagine I was in their shoes. Like Eddie Hearn obviously just puts them aside, innit? Like if you're that good, you stay good. Do you know what I mean? If you do one bad performance, you could do 50 good fights. One bad performance is that Eddie Hearn goes, Scott, I just fight against you. But if he likes you, he likes you. And just now he likes me, so I'm happy for that.
Good stuff. When you were growing up, or even still now, was there or is there a boxer whose career you would love to emulate? Obviously achieving it for yourself, but someone that you looked at and went, you know what, that's the career, that's the type of fighter, that's the type of career that I want to have.
You know what? There's actually there's a few, but I'm going to say it, and it's probably Tyson Fury. Just after his last fight, just unbelievable. Like, I was thinking, right, he won that fight, and until it was like whatever it was in the morning, and I was just putting myself in his shoes, like thinking the money he's just earned, he's just beat one of the dangerous men in boxing, and he just like basically knocked him out of his own game, just beat him out of his own fight. Oh my god, if I ever done that one day, oh my god, that's like me fighting like Canelo and just out, that's stopping him and just, oh my god, like that's what you call dreams.
Yes.
Like, Tyson Fury, for me, is one of the men like I look up to in the sport, like thinking, oh my god, he's obviously a good, great fighter. Like I like that Yusuf. He's one of the southpaw, very good fighter. Like I watch him all the time. That's all I watch. But Tyson Fury for me is one of my he's probably one of my role models. Like I look up to him across sport.
Do you know what? Even with Tyson, I've started to notice that he's not only just inspiring young boxing athletes. He's starting to inspire just the general public. He's done that thing where he's crossed over now from just being a professional athlete. He's like a global icon almost.
Yeah, that's
you know?
what I was saying. That's what he's like. That's what he's like. He's like a global icon. That's like what is for him. That's all he people just not like they're still well they are, but then again they're not. They do not understand what he has did for this sport of boxing. He has come back from what he did. Now he's at this. I am telling you, man, there will be nobody ever again like him. Like what he's come back from and what he's did. He's out like he beat Deontay Wilder. Whoever thought what he actually done that last fight? Who would ever thought he would have done that? The guy just can't praise him up from what he did. Like he's just unbelievable. To be fair,
I agree. Who would you like to see him face next?
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Forget Dillian White. He's coming on. Dillian White. I like him. Since obviously he's coming on a lot of him, but his last performance was quite dodgy. But it would probably be Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I think we all want to see that fight, but I don't know. Will we ever see it?
That's the thing. I mean, that's a big money fight. But then again, if I was in Tyson Fury's books, I was thinking, this last fight, if I beat Anthony Joshua, I'll get all the money and I've got all the belts. I'll just retire and just be happy. That's the fight I'd be aiming for. But then again, it looks like two of them want the fight. But then again, when it comes to the grudge, do they actually want it? Who wants it the most? Do you know what I mean? We shall see. Do you know what I mean? I do think there's a good chance that a fight happening next.
Well, let's hope so.
That's one fight I do hopefully happens next. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Good stuff. Well, while we were chatting, people sent in their questions, so I'm just going to go into the question box now and see what everyone wants to ask. Sam Sean Carroll, I think it is, has asked, who is the hardest hitter? So I don't know if that means sparring or in the ring that you fought, or
in who I've sparred with would be probably John Ryder. One of the biggest puncher in a fight. In pro, I've never even hit, so I can't say pro, but amateur would probably be a French boy called Louis Touton, who's pro just now, and I think he's the WBC champion.
Good stuff. Right, let's go again. Shania has asked, if you could quarantine with 5 people, dead or alive, who are you picking?
Oh, there's a few.
There's like a couple of people who ask this question every night. And I'm so happy they do, because it's a really good question.
Who would I say?
You can't say your family or anyone that like is real life. That's the only objective.
Because I'm a boxing man, I would just pick all boxers. Basically, it'd be Tyson Fury, Canelo, Lomachenko, because I'd learned so much off them. Katie Taylor for the girls.
Yes.
And Savannah Marshall. Do you know what I mean? It'd just be boxing
Yes.
because obviously I can learn off them. Do you know what I mean?
I love her. She's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I like them. I was Samara Marshall. I was on the squad with her. Do you know what I mean? So a very nice girl. And Katie Taylor, I've never met her yet, so I'd love to meet her. Do you know what I mean? Very good fighter.
Yeah, she's our best,
Oh,
without a doubt.
unbelievable.
100%. Right, let's see what else is in here. So there's those people commenting saying, such a great fighter. We look forward to seeing you lift the title this year. Let me see. Dermot H32 has said, what does this say? Who was your biggest inspiration growing up?
Growing up, like in boxing wise,
Yeah, whichever. Who
when I was
inspired you?
growing up, it would probably be because he was a southpaw and I was a southpaw, Manny Pacquiao.
It's a good one.
But just now, Tyson Fury.
Mick Conlon was. I had Mick on a week ago, and he said
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao as well.
yeah.
Big inspiration for him. So right, we'll take one more. Amy has asked, "What are you doing in your spare time in quarantine outside of training? What are you watching?" Question mark.
What am I watching? I've been watching everything, to be fair with you. I mean, I've been out watching all the old films, Bad Boys, everything, and then obviously,
Classic.
yeah, all the old films. I mean, it's just going over and over again. I mean, and obviously, I do training, and then I come back, play the PlayStation, Fortnite.
Fortnite. Are you
play
addicted?
I play Fortnite all the time because obviously, when I'm on camp, I just train, come back, Fortnite.
Not a bad life, is it?
No, just chilling.
Well, listen, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Cheers. Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
And hopefully it won't be too long. I can't say that if you get this closed door fight that I'll be there, but I'll definitely be watching it.
No
And
problem.
hopefully we'll get to do a proper interview sometime down the line.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks,
Cheers.
John.
Thank
Take
you.
it
Cheers.
easy. Bye.